Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 8 topics for this video from Ukraine, United States of America, Venezuela and other places. Elon Musk will think deeper or better before he's going to travel abroad. Why? He saw what happened to his fellow Telegram boss, Durov. What happened to him in the democratic countries who respect the rule of law, obviously. But nevertheless, Zuckerberg can travel wherever he wants because he cooperates. And you know what that means. That's one topic. Another topic is United States of America, as of now, is afraid or refuses to send contractors into Ukraine to service the F-16s. Why? The Russians told them, if you send them, there would be target practice for us. As of now, the US is trying to avoid that. Another topic has to do with Putin's visit to Mongolia. Mongolia is a signatory of the ICC, and they have to arrest Putin if he sets foot in Mongolia. Pressure put by some on Mongolia to arrest Putin. Who those might be? Well, little by little, we find out what happened with that F-16 that crashed on the 26th of August 2024 during the massive Russian missile and drone attack. About 235 drones and missiles were launched, and they don't know yet what the narrative should be. Was it a friendly fire? Was a human error with the piloting? What happened? But new details are provided to us in on their way to create the spin for us. What I think it happened most likely was hit by a Russian missile, and it's the first time when they use the word missile, but in a different context, little by little. Zelensky fires the Air Force chief because of the F-16 being crashing. Now, is that a coincidence? On the 26th, it crashed. Yesterday, they told us, they were allowed to tell us that it crashed, and today Zelensky fired the Air Force chief. The problem is the Russians conducted another, I would say, massive drone attack and missile attack on Ukraine last night with about 50-some drones. And you're going to find out that the air defenses did a perfect job in Kiev and good job with everything else. All targets were hit. So why do you fire the Air Force chief? Because the F-16 was downed? Well, we're going to talk about Condi Rice and the September 11th attacks on US. Well, Condi Rice was not fired. On the contrary, promoted. All right, what else? We have the overnight attack that we're going to discuss, and Putin himself assists his fellow guy Maduro, because they're all tyrants and dictators. Russian troops are obviously in Venezuela, and they protect Maduro and democracy. Why? There were some elections over there. Maduro won with 52% of the votes. And obviously the guys who want to overthrow Maduro don't like that, and they will try to put together a little regime change. The Russians have troops over there, so it's going to be harder this time. Like, for instance, in, was it 2016? I think 2016, in Turkey with Erdogan. Remember that one? And supposedly the Russians helped, again, Erdogan not to be out. Another topic. The Russians, somehow, they are suspected, without evidence yet, they will put together the evidence, are suspected of international terrorism on energy infrastructure. Do you know what it is? So NATO, which is the United States of America, warns everybody, including Norway specifically, that the Russians might attack their energy infrastructure. Like, I don't know, internet communication cable, under the water. I'm going to show you 2 little topics on that one. Not the ones that blew up Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. No. Those are not suspects. Russia is. These guys. And the baboons will buy that. Why? Because they're baboons. And we're going to go to the last topic here, my friends. Russia could target undersea cables and more. All right, let's start with the beginning. Elon Musk. Here is it. Here it is. Business Insider. Elon Musk says he may be more careful about where he travels after Telegram CEO shock arrest. Well, shock arrest that it happened now, but it was not a shock that he was arrested. That was coming because that's the way democracy and free world functions nowadays. Now, you can say, well, Emil, the rule of law. Correct. But we have Clinton free, Bill Clinton. We have Hillary Clinton free. We have George W. Bush free. We have Obama free. On all these guys, if you look at them, you got Yugoslavia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya. We have Syria. So all these guys had to do with a lot of killing. They are free. These guys, you round them up. How about we start chronologically and we go back to the ones that are still available over there before they expire, and then we focus on these guys too. No? All right. So as a observer, how can I say, yes, I agree with that, but in this case, you see, you're not doing your job. So I'm like, I agree with this, but how about those guys? That's why I can support preferential justice and preferential values. Those are not values, and that's not justice. So Elon Musk is facing scrutiny over the spread of misinformation on X. You got that? There you go. Misinformation on X. But the mass media, the corporate media, the operatives, they don't spread misinformation whatsoever. No, they don't even spread disinformation whatsoever. They tell the truth all the time. Double standard, triple standard. That's why, okay, you want to have check X for misinformation. I don't think that's your job. Do they commit a criminal offense that we have in their books? Okay, arrest the guy. Oh, you're going to make the laws like in Great Britain right now that will arrest you if you repost something? That's democracy for you, my friends. Oh, and freedom in European style, including Great Britain, because, England doesn't sometimes consider itself being in Europe, because it's like this, like the eternal perpetual victims. Sometimes they are this and sometimes they are that, according to how the wind blows. Sometimes they're the victims and sometimes they're not. Look in the Senate, the US Senate, and see they're not overrepresented because they're white. But then when you got another thing, say, no, we are just this, and no, we are just this minority. All right, we're going to go in that one some other time. What else? He said he might have to visit only countries where free speech is constitutionally protected. It doesn't really matter if it's in the books, my friends. It does not matter if it's in the books. Constitutionally protected. It's constitutionally protected here as well, but then you get audited by, let's say, IRS. That's the first move these guys do or make. IRS, boom, taxes. They will find a technicality. Remember, Al Capone, which is a baby boy compared with these crooks, Al Capone was convicted and imprisoned for tax evasion. Not for any crimes. Nothing else. Breaking the prohibition laws or anything like that. No, it was because of tax evasion. So they will get you with that. They can get, I would say, almost everybody. You sometimes did something. One time in your life, I know, you drove above speed limit. They will get you with that one. And they will make it bigger than it is and so on. All right, let's move on. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda. US refuses to send contractors to Ukraine for F-16 maintenance. As of now, that's the key word that I would insert in this. As of now. The US refused to send tanks, refused to send long-range missiles, refused to send air defense systems, armed vehicles, military, right? They refused to send howitzers. They refused to send F-16s. Everything they refused. And then I changed my mind. So the same here. Wait. The Russians said we're going to destroy, and they will be legitimate targets, which I think they should be. If you just go over there and you support my enemy, you become a target. But hey, the Russians are kind of show a lot of self-constraint. Is that how you say? Self-control. Other people, we don't name names, would have struck right inside those countries who are supporting these guys with weapons, logistics, whatever. You are a participant, active participant in this war, and we see where it goes. Let's see. Let's play crazy. If you want to be, how do you call it? You based your stupid actions on my being a reasonable person. That is, man, no, don't strike Poland for training those guys. Everything going through Poland. Polish tanks being in Kursk, mercenaries, Polish mercenaries, which I think they're not really mercenaries. They are troops, regular troops who just changed their uniforms and then entered Ukraine as volunteers. They help them with this and that. I think they are part of the conflict. Hit them. No, I'm not supporting that, but in any logical confrontation, the person who helps my enemy is my enemy right there, and helps not, like a massage or uses a towel to refresh the enemy. No, gives him the weapons to hurt me. Let's stop that one. And the Russians didn't. Why? Are they afraid? Reasonable? How do you call it? Stupid? They're not stupid, I can tell you that one. Here you go. Will not send it. The Biden administration has supposedly rejected a proposal to send U.S. contractors to Ukraine to maintain Western-supplied military equipment, including F-16 fighter jets, due to security concerns. They will send them, or maybe they're already over there, but as of now, they play the same game they played all the time. Like, oh, no, we don't want to do it, and then they will do it. Russia Today, 31st of August, U.S. not sending contractors to service Ukrainian F-16s, Wall Street Journal. Washington is concerned the Americans could be targeted by Russian forces, a U.S. official has told the outlet. No shit. Anyway, ICC, International Criminal Court of Hague, just an international court, it's not the one from, the international, no. Orders, is not the International Court of Justice, United Nations, no, it's a little different one, a smaller one. ICC orders Asian country to arrest Putin. Orders. Mongolia has obligations, correct. If you join an association, an organization, you would lose willingly some of your freedoms, liberties, and sovereignty. You will do that because the organization has certain rules that you might disagree with, but you being part of it, you have to obey them unless you change them. So here Mongolia, like other idiots, I would say, they are the signatories of the ICC, United States of America is not, Russia is not, China is not, India is not, the big dogs are not. You know why? Because they will not send their people to someone else to be judged and hanged. They will not do that. Why? Because they're strong. If you're weak, they will come and get it, and nevertheless. Remember when Slobodan Milosevic, the former president of Yugoslavia, was wrapped and sent by the Serbs at whose command to The Hague. Remember that one? Anyway, why not have a US president being over there? But I don't trust the ICC at all. Why? Didn't ICC order a arrest warrant for some people in the Middle East? And the US said we're going to directly put sanctions on the judges who signed those arrest warrants. So that tells you what? Back off, little boys. Those are the big dogs. And the big dogs that we're talking about were some people in a country that has less than 10 million people in that country. But they have people in specific Western countries that are just, very good at doing stuff. So Mongolia has obligations under the Rome Statute. The international courts has said Mongolia must detain Russian President Vladimir Putin because it is a member of the International Criminal Court. Correct. Otherwise, you're going to violate the statute. Spokesman for the Hague-based body has said Putin is scheduled to visit Russia's neighbor on Monday to mark the 85th anniversary of major World War II battle against Japan. This would theoretically put him at risk of arrest on the ICC's war crimes warrant as Ulaanbaatar recognizes the court's jurisdiction. All states that signed the Rome Statute have the obligation to cooperate in accordance with Chapter 9, ICC spokesman Fedi El Abdallah told the BBC on Friday. The Rome Statute is an international treaty that set up the court, which Mongolia ratified in 2002. In case of no cooperation, ICC judges may make a finding to the effect and inform the Assembly of State Parties of it. It is then for the Assembly to take any measure it deems appropriate. And Mongolia is going to say, okay, we're out, screw you. The Rome Statute provides for exemptions when arresting someone would breach a treaty obligation, end quote, with another country or violate the diplomatic immunity of a person or property of a third state. Moscow has no concerns about ICC warrant. Okay, we got that one. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Look at these guys. Zelensky dismisses Air Force commander Mykola Oleshchuk. Is to Ukrainian or something? So President Volodymyr Zelensky has dismissed Mykola Oleshchuk as commander of the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a position he has since August 2021. As usual, the decree does not specify the reasons for the dismissal. There you have. It doesn't say anything about the F-16 or anything like this. All right, next one. I think it's maybe is related to this one. Maybe, I don't know if that's a connection. Russia Today. Zelensky abruptly fires Air Force chief after F-16 lost. Now, I don't know if that's connected or not, but nevertheless, remember Condi Rice? When she was the national security, in charge of our national security in 2001. And in September 11, when those things happened, she was not fired for a failure whatsoever. She was promoted, if I remember correctly. And she's a respected politician, person, whatever. And she's what? That was one try, or without the other bombing of the World Trade Center that occurred, if you remember. One try, these guys were successful. What? 4 times? 4 times in one day? All right. Remember even the Secret Services. The Secret Services, they failed with Trump. Now, failure was because of incompetence or something else. I don't know. She was not fired. She was allowed to, I submit my resignation. Very interesting. No? Why? So she get another job, and in history she will appear, she just resigned. She was not fired. Why? Protection, my friends. The US-made Ukrainian jet may have been shot down by friendly fire. May. Nevertheless, it says here the plane reportedly crashed, that's how they say it, on Monday, killing its pilot. All right, next one. You say, well, ABC News. Yeah, we're going to use anything that works here because ABC News never gave us any misinformation, spin, or anything. So what do we find here? Well, what's that? Colombia Anti-Semitism Report. Jesus Christ. And here is the title. Ukrainian Air Force pilot dies in F-16 crash while trying to intercept missile. All right, so it says here, a U.S. official says the jet doesn't appear to have been brought down by the enemy fire. Hold your horses. Patience is still a virtue. Wait a little bit. We're going to find out it was shot by a Russian missile in about, 2 weeks maybe, within 2 weeks. Now, let's say I'm here and another person is here. And I slap that person. Now you can look at it as my palm slapping his cheek, or you can look at it, the cheek slapped my palm. So these guys are looking at it as the cheek might have slapped the palm. So the incoming missile was coming towards the jet, and I'm trying to intercept it, and I'm going to intercept it frontal. You know what I mean? So they spin it like, no, it tried to intercept, and somehow, boom, right there. I think that's where they're going to end up saying, yes, it was a Russian missile, but He was trying to intercept it, and in the process of doing all kind of maneuvers, fantastic maneuvers trained by our Western trainers and the greatest air fighter jet in the world, nothing was a failure, but somehow, it was something the wind blew the wrong way. Wait for it. I mean, it's like when you pursue an investigation, a crime. You put all kind of leads, and you go to the alternative hypothesis, and you go to the biggest one, like the most obvious one, and then you go to the most extreme one that is very unlikely to be. But anyway, you don't start with that, your investigation. You start with what's the most likely one. If a president of a country said, we're going to destroy a pipeline, an international built pipeline between two countries, and then that gets blown up, who's the main suspect? The guy. You're not going to go to look for a scuba diver with 6 other guys and a woman and a yacht. I mean, that could be, but it's like this compared with the big elephant in the freaking room. The same here. It's a major missile attack on Ukraine. Do you get the F-16s in the first operation? One gets shot, crashes, and what could that be? I think he was jerking off while piloting. Could be, but you go to that one the first, or you go to the first thing in the investigation, or you go to the most obvious one. Oh, the obvious one did not happen. Why? The best airplane, the best pilot trained by the best people. Eliminate that. Really? Really? Why? The baboons are preoccupied, playing video games, watching TV with the view, wearing masks while driving cars, being in a basement, working over there afraid of the world, or taking naps, or working and paying their taxes, and most importantly, keeping their mouths shut. Don't rock the boat, because they like to listen to mommy and daddy. Why? They are weak. But they are very much believers. And even if they don't believe this, because they're weak and cowards, they will not dare to challenge the narrative proposed by mommy and daddy. They like security more than liberty. So therefore, they will end up losing both. All right, let's go to the next article here. Let's see if this guy, Oleshchuk, was fired because his air defense incompetence. I don't think so. I think the Ukrainians did a great job. This is by eliminating, reasons. By elimination remains, say, okay, why was he fired? You come up with 10, let's say, reasons. And by elimination, you end up to one or two, or whatever, and you focus on them more. Now, I don't think he was incompetent. I think the F-16 crash created such a big problem for the arms military industry, manufacturing companies, like the guys that produce this piece of old plane, as I said, designed in late 1960s, and the first flight was, I think, in 1974, or 4, I think it was. Remember, 74 with 2024 right now. So what, 50 fucking years? Oh, we did all this, we improved it. Imagine you have a chassis of a Cadillac built beautifully in 1974, designed in 69, and you sell it right now as being the best car, man, the best, not the best car as that you like it. No, like the performance is the best car. It's not a Cadillac anymore. It's something else. Or it's not good. All right, so we find out that, New Voice of Ukraine, this is just last night it happened, or overnight, August 31st. Overnight Russian attack on Kiev fails. All targets intercepted. Isn't this guy... Where's your face? Isn't this guy responsible for that? For this success? Well, you can say, well, how about Condi Rice? Well, it was one attempt. 4 in one day, and she failed in one day. The whole total failure. Do you think she deserves to get out? I think she does. This guy was a plane. It was not like the whole front collapsed. If the whole front collapsed, which it seems like it collapsed, but Oleksiy Syrskyi, the Russian general, is still in charge of the Ukrainian army, supposedly, which I don't think he is. I think he's just like a secretary who's told to, book meetings, schedule this, schedule that, tell that, but someone else, the director, who tells the secretary what to do, or the directors. who tell him, Zinski, do this, and Zinski, yeah, we're gonna do this, we decided. No, it's not we, it's but baboons again, too busy. Let's go to the, where is that? Oh, this is the one. So let's first, so all targets in Kiev intercepted. Ukrainska Pravda, 24 drones shot down. Look at this reporting. Over Ukraine, 24 drones, 25 crashed. Do you mean crashed hitting the target? Oh my God, and 3 flew into Belarus and Russia. So that tells me that they had 100% success. They shot down, 25 crashed, that I'm assuming. They tell us that the drones just decided to take a nap somewhere in the field, okay, by itself. Or maybe the electronic warfare weapons, or however, technology got them down. Nevertheless, you have 24 plus 25, 49. 49 did not reach the target. And then 3 just decided to run. Let's go to Belarus, Jesus Christ. Ooh. Oh, and Russia, retreat to the coast. Remember that one in Dunkirk, when the Germans were bringing the expeditionary force to Dunkirk, all those guys, the great Prime Minister of Great Britain, what's his name? Winston Churchill, which he was great in certain things, he ordered retreat to the coast. Advance to the coast. That's why, so not retreat, advance to the coast. Not retreat, advance. So these guys, the Russian 3 drones that flew into Belarus and Russia, advanced to Belarus and Russia. So again, why would you fire a guy who actually covered everything? Everything. 25 crashed. I would say hitting the intended target, but nevertheless, 24 drones shot down, 3 flew back. That's it, baby doll, all gone. Ukrainian Air Forces reported that 24 Shahed attack UAVs were shot down over Ukraine on the night of 31 August and on the morning of the 31st August, while 25 crashed on their own. That means hitting the target. Is this a euphemism? 2 drones flew back towards Russia and 1 flew to Belarus. But they also had some missiles. It is known that the Russians carried out an attack using an Iskander-M ballistic missile 1, launched from Russia's Voronezh Oblast, 4 S-300 anti-aircraft guided missiles, launched from the occupied part of Donetsk Oblast. And we already know these guys right here. So they did what? 1 Iskander, and then they have 4 S-300. So that's 5 missiles. That's it. So we don't know about the 5 missiles. Ukrainian air defense assets and personnel responded to attacking Kiev, Poltava, Cherkasy, Dnipropetrovsk, Chernihiv, Kirovohrad, Mykolaiv, and Sumy Oblast. Aircraft, anti-aircraft. Ooh, I wonder if F-16s were used again. I don't think so. I remember now. In the video yesterday, I could remember their British tank, the Challenger tank. Remember when the Challenger tank was used for the first time by the Ukrainians and they got and then the Brits called the Ukrainians and said, don't send our tanks into dangerous missions, risky missions, but they're supposed to fight in risky missions. Oh, the war is not you're gonna win 100%. It's a risky situation. The same thing will happen with F-16s. I'm almost certain. I think the Abrams received the same order. 2/3 of the Abrams tanks out of 31, almost 20, I think, they were already destroyed, according to sources. I made a video on that one. So, as I said, any weapon, how should I put it, airplane that you send, the Russians too, airplane, tank, air defense systems, they will be found and destroyed one by one. Just need time. Now, the fact that the first F-16 won the first one that we know of, on the 26th, the first time it was, go boys, show them who's boss. Crashed. I'm expecting these guys to, hey, ground all those guys, send them back to Poland for now. We're gonna report that our F-16s destroyed targets in Russia and are fighting, but actually they're not. They're down, hidden in Poland. Would you know that? No, you wouldn't. And if the Russians dare to claim otherwise, this guy will say, those are the Russian liars, man. We tried so much to put that in your thick skull over there, right? Exactly, you don't know. And they will say, yes, a new pilot, Gigi Margigi, was fantastic, and Bubu Kogobolubu, again, they shot down 50 drones, 1,000 Russian drones. Would you know? No, you know what they tell you. And who's they? The Ukrainian Air Defense Forces, the military. A spokesperson will come and say with a pussified, and we hit all the targets F-16. Ooh, that's what they're going to say. And how can you verify? You can't. And the other guys are liars by default, because these guys are the forces of truth. All right, let's move on. All right, here you have Putin, who helps Maduro. Fox News, Putin assisting Maduro regime amid ongoing protest over rigged elections result. They said they're rigged because some international observers that are allowed to observe, somehow Maduro, the bad Maduro, allows international NGOs and to observe his rigged elections and find out they were rigged. But the United States of America, does it allow international observers? Yeah. How close? Nah, not too closely. And it's always perfect if the right candidate wins. If the wrong candidate wins, rigged right there. Remember 2016? Who said, including in the U.S., in the House, I think it was in the Senate, we have Democratic elected officials denying the election in 2016. Remember that one? No, you forgot about it, but you remember the one with Trump, right? Right. All right, let's go. Venezuelan president, they said president, Nicolas Maduro is turning to his friend, Russian President Vladimir Putin, to help him put down opposition to the recent outcome of the presidential election, which most outside observers say was rigged. Most being the guys who were ordered to, because they are independent. Maduro's claim to victory sparked widespread protests that have led to the arrest of 2,200 people, including opposition figures and journalists. They had an insurrection too? Yeah? No, there's not an insurrection. They're just protesters. Amid attention, Putin sent his Baltic Fleet to a port near Caracas, as opposition politicians have called on members of the military and security forces to respect the will of the people. No, not only that, but the Americans are in the area as well, my friends. The security forces have remained fiercely loyal to Maduro and show no sign of backing down. What did I tell you? If the security forces, but that's not very important, if the military, revolutions are won with the military. If the military stands down, then the mob could have a successful revolution, which is actually this guy's decision. If the military says no, they're going to do what the great emperor Napoleon Bonaparte did. Put the cannons, blew the boom, boom, boom. That's what he did, and he solved the problem. The guys were like, he solved it with cannons. Remember that one? And not only, if you put the military, you have a mass of people, unarmed or armed with all right, let's say they show up and you put the military, I guarantee you those guys were not their shit. Can you imagine fighting the government with its military? They don't have single action revolvers or whatever, pistols or just bolt action or semi-automatic big garbage that after 20 rounds is all red. How do you call it? The barrel is all red. Why? Because that's a garbage. It's not military grade weapon. AR-16. Yeah, shoot it a few times and see how far you can shoot, and then it melts just like this. There are some videos if you want to look on YouTube with AK-47s, how many rounds these guys shot until the whole thing disintegrates. I don't know, 1,000, some one after another, and disintegrated. Nevertheless, let's go back here. It's not a security forces necessary. Security forces are like this, the military is like this. So if the military once swallows the security forces, just like that. There were some, losses on both sides. So it's true. Every revolution is successful if the military doesn't intervene or intervenes on behalf of the people, the will of the people. Not the people moved by NGOs, cells activated and all that from outside. No. It's the will of the people, spontaneous revolution, against the tyrant. And the Russians obviously said, no, United States of America, your Monroe Doctrine doesn't work here anymore. We are in it. Oh, no, you can't. But you can be in Romania, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria. They say Romania. Huh? You can? And now you want Ukraine? Yeah, it's illegal. Well, so it's my presence over there. Still legal. Yeah, but Maduro is not the legitimate ruler. Well, Viktor Yanukovych was in 2014 when overthrew Viktor Yanukovych. And then the next day when he fled, after he fled, you, the democratic forces, countries with the free world, recognized the guys who overthrew bloody coup in Ukraine. You just recognize the new guys, the new thugs, traitors. How do you call a person who destroys the legitimate government, democratic elected of a country? That's a traitor. And the punishment is firing squad, hanging, whatever it is. It used to be, I don't know, right now it is, I don't know, some ladies of the night, I don't know. These guys, be kind, be kind. No, be inclusive. Oh my God. Ukrainian president recently posted on social media platform worrying reports that Russian Wagner mercenaries being spotted in Venezuela alongside government forces. So the guy from Ukraine tells you about forces in another country, another continent over the Atlantic Ocean, but it's not Zimbabwe. I want to know what the Zimbabweans are saying, or the guys from Nigeria, or I don't know, guys from Pakistan. I want to see their view. Why do I have Ukrainian my ass? Putin called Maduro to congratulate him on his win and invited him to the next BRICS summit to be held in Russia in October, if he's going to be alive by then. Remember what they did, these guys with the pimp Milei of Argentina? They put him over there in place. Those guys said, no more BRICS, we got Argentina. And I'm suspecting Argentina will have a bloody revolution if the military plays in a certain way. If not, we'll see what CIA will succeed in doing and keeping the population under control in the name of freedom and democracy. All right. Now, is it okay with these guys? Well, first, Maduro is the president. If he invited those guys, you're legitimate being over there. Unlike the US forces in Syria, illegitimately occupying Syrian territory. They're over there not at the invitation of the legitimate ruler, Assad, Bashar al-Assad of Syria. But hey, we're the good, these are the bad. That's all you need to know, or the evil. Next one. We find out that someone is warning Norway. And who's the ones? We'll find out. Security service warn Norway of suspected Russian threat to energy infrastructure. Lead by panic. That's what they do. Possible? Yeah. But the guy or the suspect that I was talking at the beginning of this video is right there. But I focus on these guys right here. Who is the main suspect in the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines? Not that Ukrainian guy or no. It's the guy who said, we won't let that happen. We will stop it. If Russia invades Poland unprovoked, we will stop it. And someone did. What a coincidence, right? Okay, yeah, good. The National Security Services from 7, oh my God, European countries provided a briefing to Norwegian energy executives and officials, including from Europe's largest gas supplier, Equinor, regarding Russia's perceived threat to critical infrastructure. Now, don't be fooled by numbers. The numbers doesn't mean they're right or good. So if you see, 7 countries, who are those countries? They are the same vassal states of the United States of America. They will say and do whatever they're told. You could have even 12. You can have 15. You can muster up to about 50. 50. That's the hegemony of the US at this point. Is the European Union with some out. There are a few baboons around the world like Palau and others. And you got another baboons in New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, and Japan. And maybe a few more between these guys. That's all. When they say the world community, they talk about 3 countries or 4 countries, which is United States of America, Israel all the time, France, Germany, and obviously Great Britain. The rest, sometimes Italy. Whatever works. When I say 7 countries, why? Who are these guys? It's like you're a family and you all are good witnesses, alibi for each other. I have my family being, Emil was with us. And then when they say, what about your father? My father was with us, was it? Yeah, it was it. It's just these guys. They're not going to say anything bad about these guys. So yeah, a perceived threat. Oh, this camera, I perceive it as a CIA threat. Are they going to hit me with anything? I can perceive a threat wherever I turn around. It's based on what? This is just to create a narrative, to get you away from who blew up the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream pipelines, most likely. Right here, the closed-door meeting, attending national security services from Belgium, Finland, Germany, Iceland, the Netherlands, Sweden, focused on Norway's crucial role as Europe's primary energy supplier. You just impose sanctions on yourselves by getting rid of the Russian gas. Some of you, Russian gas, Germany was pushed. You impose sanctions on yourself for the cheapest gas through a pipeline from Russia, and you telling me that someone wants to destroy this? Who can that be? The same guy who blew up Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2? Possibly. They want to take over Europe fully, not 80%ly, fully. Right now, you have military, someone else's military in your house. You're not on an occupation, you're just partners. But you don't have your military in their house. Why? Because they're bigger and stronger. Please, my friends, please. This is for baboons. So, right there, that he had that. This is the threat. This is a threat. Oh my God. All right, let's see what else we got. Russia is signaling. How is doing like? Is that the way it signals, or is that how it signals? How do you signal? Let's see what these guys are saying. Signaling, it could take out the West internet and GPS. There's no good backup plan. Well, what about the United States of America? Is the United States of America signaling that? No, because we don't know who blew up Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines. Everything goes to over there. They try to, like you try to cover your marks, your whatever prints, your tail, you cover it, you just, oh my God, no, I'm not the one. Yes, you are. Oh, we don't have the evidence. Why? They didn't find anything. The investigators from Germany, Sweden, and Denmark didn't find anything. I have to remind you, Denmark is the country that allowed American services to have access on the European market in order to listen to Miss Markle's phone, personal phone, and not only. It was through Denmark, not through Russia, through Denmark. So Denmark is like a puppy. Yes, I'm with the big boss here. Hey, stay there. Have you seen movies like this? Yeah, the good representation of reality. Russia is likely mapping underwater internet cable, a NATO official said. Well, you blew up their Nord Stream, some of you. No, a NATO official said. The country is also believed to be behind flight GPS interference. It's signaling it could wreak havoc with the West electronic infrastructure. Got it? The undersea cables that enable global communications had become a legitimate target for Russia, he said. Well, how about that? Medvedev warning came after Nord Stream 2 pipeline was blown up. Russian officials believe that the West had been involved in the attack. If I would be Russia, and I would be most certain that they did it, I would probably have something like this happen, and whatever they find out, I will deny. I said, no, it was not me. No, not me. Even if they put the evidence right here, I would say, no, it was not me. No, not me. What are you going to do? Arrest me? You're at war to destroy me anyway. What do I have to lose? And do this to about, I don't know, a few cables, and that's it. What do you think these guys will do? Attack me? No, we will do the same old same. Or they will come and say, hey, you went too far. Nord Stream, how about that too far? How about Ukraine? How about NATO enlargement? How about that one? And we have this one from the same, not the same, but Russia could target undersea cables. Could, but over there is signaling. All right, signaling. Target undersea cables and GPS to cripple Western communications, says NATO. All right, easy to do it. Easy to do it. Here it is, my friends. We live in not only a matrix, but you can call it a matrix, an inverted reality. What is up is down, like, what's the name of that? Alice in Wonderland. What is up is down. What is here is there. What is there is here. Inverted. You have the good people, or the people who claim they're the good ones. You find out some of them are the evil ones, and vice versa. Remember, is there a cat around? If, it's not like he's all evil. I have to take that back. There's only one person who's all evil, nothing good. But anyway, there's no such a thing as all evil and all good. I mean, have you met this kind of people? And if you didn't, why didn't you? Oh, because only a few? That means that's not the general rule. It could be, but the general rule is, in us, there's good and evil. It's the proportion. Our acts are good and evil. It's the proportion. If you tell me you never committed anything negative, fantastic, great. I am very skeptical about it, but nevertheless. So you can call, hey, I'm not a bad person. My deeds, look at this volume and look at this volume. Now, it's true that you can say not only on the number, but on the quality. You did 1,000 good things, but there were minor things. But you did one bad things, I don't know, destroying half of this world. What makes you 1 versus 1,000, let's say? Yeah, but those are little deeds. I gave a coin to a beggar 1,000 times, or I destroyed half of the humanity. Which one am I? Good or bad? Well, most likely, that even it's one event, that is bigger than that. But you had some good things too, not only bad. We live in this kind of society, and unfortunately, these guys are together. They had time. They think, no, because we think in a lifespan, like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of conscious lifespan, not when you were a baby. That doesn't count. Until you were 17, 16, 17, what you lived over there, it was not like real life. You didn't have, how should I put it, independence to do whatever you want, to conduct yourself, to be your sovereign. No, you were someone else's bitch. After that, it's all you, including this and your balls, or whatever you got over there. So in the 40, 50, they didn't have time. These guys are for generations. When you look at certain banking houses, they didn't come up yesterday. They came centuries. You look at, let's say, the monarchies. Some monarchies worked from centuries to build up certain... Oh, no, that could not happen. It happened, things that you don't even remember between whom and whom. So the same here. There are certain things that media, big business, banking systems, military-industrial complex, and many other organizations and individuals, and we are here, the energy supplied for them to exist. We are the energy. They're like the bank. And a bank, and we are the businesses and humans who are at their command when, after all, they exist because of us. It's not the other way around. A bank exists if we exist. And our businesses exist. If we die, the bank dies. But if the bank dies, we don't die. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.